Do you believe that there are places on Earth, places where no one has ever lived, that still bear the marks of a great hand that once shaped them only to vanish without a trace? This isn't mythology, this is real. A remote island in the middle of the ocean, utterly uninhabited by humans, yet filled with strange stone structures and statues as if built by an ancient civilization erased from the memory of mankind. In the heart of the Pacific Ocean, where wind, sand, and sea slowly devour time itself, there lies a forgotten island named Malden. No fresh water, no permanent life, no human settlement. But when Western explorers first landed here in the 19th century, they didn't find a barren wasteland. What they found were remnants of a world that once existed. Raised stone platforms, ceremonial roads, and humanoid carvings etched from coral rock, arranged with purpose, with structure, with ritual. Who built them, and why? Here on a desolate speck in the vast ocean where life should not have thrived. Malden doesn't offer answers. It only whispers ancient secrets meant for those bold enough to listen. In the vast heart of the Pacific Ocean, far removed from any continent or civilization, lies an island so remote, so barren that even nature itself seems to have turned its back on it. This is Malden Island, a lonely coral atoll, surrounded by endless waves, ruled only by wind, salt, and silence. No rivers, no forests, no animals larger than a seabird, and absolutely no trace of human life. But then, in the year 1825, a British ship, the HMS Blonde, made an unscheduled stop. At its helm was Lord George Anson Byron. At its helm was Lord George Anson Byron, grandson of the famed romantic poet, and what he saw would send ripples through the academic world. Instead of empty sands, he found ruins. Massive stone foundations clearly arranged with purpose, scale, and precise orientation. Platforms constructed from coral blocks, rising from the ground like sacred altars of a forgotten age. Stone statues, some vaguely human, others resembling long-lost gods. And roads, actual roads engineered with eerie precision, stretching across the island. Every detail spoke of intention, structure, and perhaps ritual. But how? And more importantly, who? Malden has never supported permanent human settlement, and yet someone or something once did. They carved, they built, they orchestrated, and then they vanished. On Malden Island, a place entirely devoid of human habitation, exist structures so puzzling that even seasoned archaeologists are left speechless. Over 20 stone platforms have been discovered across the island, eerily similar in form to ancient altars. These platforms were clearly hand-built, featuring an unnatural symmetry and precision that suggest purpose and planning. Over 20 stone platforms have been discovered across the island, eerily similar in form to ancient altars. These platforms were clearly hand-built, featuring an unnatural symmetry and precision that suggest purpose and planning. Running across the island is an engineered network of stone pathways, not natural formations but roads, deliberately laid out, straight, orderly, and oriented towards ceremonial structures, as if designed for a sacred procession or ritual movement. And perhaps the most baffling of all, man-made wells, carved deep into the coral bedrock, on an island with no fresh water, no rivers, and no underground aquifers. The existence of such wells defies conventional explanation. Some archaeologists theorize that Malden may have once served as a ritual center for an ancient Polynesian culture. But here's the chilling part. There are no signs of long-term habitation, no human remains, no hearths or fire pits, no metal tools, no housing foundations, nothing. It's as if a group of people journeyed across the ocean, came to this godforsaken island solely to build, to perform sacred rites, and then disappeared, leaving not a trace of who they were or why they came. Some scholars compare the mystery to Easter Island, but there is one haunting difference. Malden was never inhabited. Whoever came here must have crossed the vast Pacific in wooden canoes, navigating by stars and memory from a homeland that history has never recorded. Standing among the ruins of Malden Island, a place with no fresh water, no vegetation, and no signs of permanent habitation, one cannot help but ask, who built these mysterious structures, and for what purpose? Over the years, numerous theories have been proposed. Each one feels like a doorway into another dimension of history, or perhaps even mythology. Some archaeologists believe Malden may have once served as a ritual stopover in the long migrations of ancient Polynesian seafarers. These master navigators crossed vast oceans in wooden canoes, guided only by the stars and the rhythms of nature. But a haunting question remains. Why would they construct such grand ceremonial monuments in a place so utterly uninhabitable? Could it be that this island held spiritual significance, a sacred site reserved for rituals so profound, so transcendent, that human presence was never meant to be permanent? Bolder scholars suggest that these ruins may be remnants of an unrecognized civilization, perhaps an offshoot of the mythical continents of Lemuria or Mu, said to have vanished beneath the sea in prehistoric times. If so, then Malden might represent a fragmented frontier, the final whisper of a world that history has long since abandoned, a message left in stone waiting for anyone to remember. Some believe that Malden was a kind of transit station for non-human intelligences, much like the speculative origins attributed to the pyramids of Giza or Stonehenge. Which theory do you find most compelling? Leave a comment below, because who knows, maybe you hold the missing piece to a history the world has forgotten. While the world marvels at Easter Island, while tourists stand in awe before the grandeur of Machu Picchu, Malden Island, wrapped in mystery without a name, has all but vanished from humanity's collective awareness. Perhaps because Malden is simply too remote, too desolate, too silent. There are no inhabitants, no airports, no cruise ships, no hotels, no tour guides, no selfies, no check-ins. The island exists as if it doesn't want to be found, a blank space in the Pacific Ocean present, yet hauntingly absent, a ghost pinned to the map. Most of the structures on Malden have been worn down by time and salt into mute remnants. There are no writings, no carvings, no skeletal remains, no oral legends passed down by any living culture. And it is that silence that truly haunts us, a place where no one ever lived, yet clearly marked by the hands of those who came. They crossed the ocean, they built roads, altars, ceremonial platforms, and then they disappeared, leaving behind no names and no explanations. No one knows who they were. No one knows where they came from. And more disturbingly, no one knows how they vanished. Malden is a question with no answer, an ancient voice crying out with no one left to hear. A missing chapter torn from the pages of human history and swept away by the tides of the Pacific. You've just uncovered one of the world's least known mysteries, an isolated island in the heart of the Pacific, where forgotten stone monuments still stand, silent witnesses to a past swallowed by wind and sea. If this story stirred something in you, if it made you wonder, question, or simply feel awe, subscribe to the channel. Together we'll explore the untold, the hidden, and the nearly erased corners of ancient history. And leave a comment below. What do you think really happened on Malden Island? Could this be the missing link to a lost civilization? Or something even greater, something we've yet to imagine?